And welcome back aboard Blur Force One with your boy Mo and your girl Polly. And this is the Supercast. The Supercast where we talk about all things superhero in our pop culture media. That's movies, TV shows, video games, and comics. We talk about the news, do some speculation, all of that good nerdy stuff. And before we get into the podcast today, you know what to do. Get down there and hit like on this video. So, welcome again to our podcast where we talk about these superhero things. It's been a slow news week. But that doesn't mean we don't have things to talk about. We're going to nerd out about superhero stuff today. We got some good stuff. The DOOMSDAY trailer, an actual good quality one dropped. So we definitely got to dig into that. And some other things, some behind the scenes stuff with DC. And of course, we're going to do our nerding on a budget, comics, that good stuff. So in order to do that, you know what we got to do? We got to introduce our resident Reed Richards truther, lover of, I'd say aficionado of Moon Knight, all around cool comic book, geek. And that is, of course, our friend Polly. Polly, how you doing? It's good to see you.
I'm doing well, thank you. It has been a really slow week, like with news and stuff, but everyone I think was focused on the trailer that dropped. So
Yeah.
that's been a real joy. So yeah.
You been doing
That's
anything
what we've
nerdy?
been doing. Yes, I have read some comics. I have actually tried to catch up on the newest issues, and I did kind of. I started reading Saladin Ahmed's Daredevil, which is like the next Daredevil run after the Chip Zdarsky Daredevil, which I loved. Not gonna talk about that because I haven't finished it yet, but it's fun, it's interesting, it's just a little bit different, little new, and yeah, I'm planning on like catching up on Daredevil and then moving on to the next thing, whichever it might be. Didn't do anything on the budget. Didn't do anything obvious. Didn't buy anything, which is good. I need to give my wallet a rest.
Same.
Well,
I really do. It's ridiculous.
Well, I've been playing Marvel Rivals. Of course, I have been playing Marvel Rivals. That's a no-brainer. Of course.
Oh, I was gonna say, you mentioned Saladin Ahmed. I'm a guy. That's a guy. I'm gonna assume that's a guy. I think so. If I'm not mistaken, did he not co-write the Miss Marvel comic with Alman Vellani? Am I right about that?
I'm not sure. I have not checked, nor I will. But it could be true.
I think that's true because I think he was a writer on the show. I think he was a writer on the show.
Also could be true.
So that's cool though.
Still, interestingly different. All I will say for now about this run is it really is. It does feel different. It takes kind of in a new direction. And if you have been following Daredevil, you know that at the end of Chip Zdarsky's run, he died and he went to hell. And he was supposed to be dead because like Elektra became the Daredevil, and then he came back as Father Matthew, actually, as a priest in Hell's Kitchen, with like half of his memories are from his previous life and half of his memories are from this life. Mostly nobody remembers him for some reason because he looks the same and people still recognize him, but like he keeps saying nobody remembers me, but like everybody does. And and he's a Catholic priest, so he can do half of the things that he likes to do, like annoying all the women. Yeah. That's interesting choice.
Sounds like I think Peter Parker would be like, I sure wish people would forget.
I got it good. No. Daredevil is a disaster. I think that's like we should collectively admit that. His life's never gonna be fun.
No, I mean, but I think it's built into the character. I think it's built into like the makeup of the character. He's just, he's like if Peter Parker gets punished for being a good guy, and Daredevil gets punished for being a good guy that's also Catholic. It's like
No, I mean,
no.
a good
What I
guy
mean,
is a stretch, a bit of a
yeah.
stretch, because like Daredevil's not a good guy. He's a walking disaster.
Well, what I mean by that is like his religious, kind of background also starts to lend some of its problems to it because like the way he thinks about the world and all of that stuff, and it's like every writer is just kind of be like, how can I make that ironically bothersome to you? But yeah, like many ways we can make this ironically bothersome to you. So that's cool. One day I'll read Daredevil comics. I
Right.
believe it or
One
not,
day you'll read comics.
I do. I believe I've read some for like the little Black Panther shorts that I'm making for the channel. Which look, I thought I was gonna do one per day. That's not realistic for me.
It's hard.
It's a lot of work. That said, I think I made 5 of them so far. A couple of them I've done fairly well because I guess they're about racism. So that's fine. Look, I'm gonna get back to it, but they're fun. Like Silver Age Black Panther is something. It's not bad. It's quite good, but also
it's like retro good.
Yeah, well,
it's back in the day good.
Yeah, they were like progressive for the time. Some of it's a little cringe because it's a white man writing this black man, this African man, and it's funny in that way. But also when you think about it, you're like, well, they were doing something. I'm
doing my part.
Yeah, they were. Look, it's not perfect, but it is for the time was quite groundbreaking, and to kind of see the way they comment on things, like when people say, "Oh, to keep the politics out," when they went woke, and I'm like, you motherfuckers never read a comic book, because Stan and Jack and like Roy Thomas and all them, they were like they knew they were speaking to people. They were gonna have to be very, ham-fisted and blunt about the shit, and so they were often sermonizing or about stop being an asshole and stop being a racist and whatever. So when we get some of these stories where, like, it's on the nose. The Sons of the Serpent is in one of these shorts I made, and they're basically just a white supremacist group with like a snake theme, pretty much. They're like, what if the Klan was like, I like snakes? So they do that, and it's like straight up, it's ham-fisted like foolishness, but they have to talk like that because people are dumb and or people are willfully obtuse, and that you got to be like, you know what, now you're just being stupid on purpose. It's a good time, and it's interesting to see how things aren't that different now than they were then. It was groundbreaking then. Now it's these are the sort of comics that would be called woke if they were made now. So it's very interesting stuff. I'm enjoying them, even though every aspect of them are not perfect. Like I read for one I haven't done yet. I read one that Roy Thomas wrote, and I was like, dude, what are you? I was like, I get it, but like, yo, like chill.
Cut it out.
Like, I get what you're going for, and it sounds good, but like if you read it you read a certain way, it's very patronizing. So
a lot of times it is.
Yeah, but well, I'm gonna keep on that series. Also, I caught some movies. I watched for the first time Lego Batman. Don't come at me. I missed it a long time ago. I never watched it. Finally watched Lego Batman. Loved it. Excellent. It's a great movie. Some people said it's better than the Lego movie. I don't know if I agree with that. But it's very funny, and I enjoyed it quite a bit. And also, wow. It's one of those things where the people who made it really love the subject matter, and it shows in how they present it. So
makes you feel better. I haven't watched it either, but only because like it's not available on anything I have here. So
I
have HBO.
I'll hit you up with a link where you can just watch it for free. So So yeah, Lego Batman, that was cool. I also went out and I got to catch Zootopia 2. Love that. I thought it was great. Zootopia 2 is like, I really liked the first Zootopia. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
This one surpassed it, and it surpassed it in a way you wouldn't expect from me, because I pretty much called most of the movie start to finish. There was nothing surprising. There's no surprises in the movie to me at all. Right?
You know what?
But
Why
I don't
do you
need
keep doing
surprises.
that?
I don't need that's the thing. I don't need surprises in a movie. I like the journey. If you can get me from point A to point B, I don't care if I know that I'm going to end up I'm going to end up in Chicago, as long as it's fun to get to Chicago along the way. And it's very fun. Like it's a movie full of like inside jokes, but also like cultural references. It's all, and all this is happening in the background. There are lots of puns. There are lots of cultural references. There's just fun little jokes. The characters are all really fun. They're very well realized. I love the voice acting. There's a point, like, they got me to get a few tears out of me towards the end. Like, there's just some real great character building in it. And there's also a low-key anti-racist message going on in it. There's a message about like gentrification and like, you know, how people's histories are erased because, you know, the people in power find it inconvenient. There's a lot going on in the movie, and it's still very funny and full of heart, and a lot of cool little action sequences just all around. I enjoyed the hell. I'm gonna watch it again when it hits Disney Plus. I really enjoyed it. I get it. I understand why it's a $1 billion movie. It deserves it to me. Anybody anywhere in the world, you can watch this movie, you can get it. So you should, if you haven't seen it, go out and see it. If not, wait for Disney Plus and like enjoy it. The other thing I watched was the latest episode of Percy Jackson, the second season of Percy Jackson. I'm watching that with my daughter. It's fine so far. The show's fine. I really like the first season. I'm not as enthused with this second season. I feel like it's slow walking. Would probably be like, it's got 8 episodes, and I'm starting to feel like it probably could have had just 6. So we'll see. My daughter really likes the book series. This is one of her favorite books in the series, and even she's more up on it than I am, but is not as enthused. So we'll see what's going on there. So that's all my nerdy stuff that I did this week. But I did, of course, do some nerding on a budget. That's right. Yeah, I can't believe my wallet does not love me right now. I was looking at my bank account and I was like, woo. You know. But I can't help it. I have to, follow through on this. So I just got a couple things. I saw something on Amazon that was cheap, and it would complete not a collection, but part of a collection. So I got this bad boy. Yeah, it's Whim from. Let me back up a little bit. Whim from Skeleton Crew. So that completes my Skeleton Crew. I have all of the kids plus Jod now as a Funko Pop. That was like $4. That's a good ass deal. Also, I happened to be at a thrift store yesterday and didn't think I'd see anything I wanted, but I found this for $5. It's Supreme Leader Snoke. Yeah, right. This was $5.
And his golden bathrobe.
Yeah. looking like a broke ass Hugh Hefner, but
hey, he was not broke. He was, however, cut off in half. No, that's a different story.
Yeah, I mean, they just needed to decant another one of him, but it's, you know what, J.J. Abrams, I'm still kind of mad at you about what you did with Snoke. But whatever, that's another discussion for another time.
Yeah, actually, J.J. Abrams didn't do that. Ryan Johnson did that. But
no, I'm not talking about the cutting in half. I'm talking about the clone shit that they did.
Oh
with Snoke.
Yeah, no, I hate that.
No, yeah,
yes, I hate that so much.
Oh no, what's he? He's a clone. And also a puppet of Palpatine. I'm like, fuck you, man. Like,
somehow Palpatine returned.
Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about Nerding on a budget. Yes. So I got two more Funko Pops. That's probably going to be my nerding on a budget for a couple weeks until I get my Big Bad Toy Store shipment, which is going to be like 20 things. We'll talk about that then. That
You
was.
know what? The good news is you already paid for them.
I did. The only thing I hadn't paid for is tax and shipping. So it's not going to be nothing.
Oh no! In a way, it's like you didn't pay for them.
Yeah. No. So it's going to be like $4 for shipping plus like I don't know, probably $10-15 for taxes maybe. Well, I didn't. We'll see. It's not going to be that much. It's probably going to run me maybe $20, $25. We'll talk about that though then. So, all that being said, that's all our nerdy stuff. So we got to talk about the news this week. Oh, and before we do that, I do want to do a discussion topic because something's really biting my butt. It's related to what we talked about last week, which was fans. So we are going to have a discussion topic before we get into the news. But we also have for the news, there's what Kang Dynasty might have been. We got a little details on that. Paramount just can't take no for an answer. Sebastian Stan news related to yet another comic book property. Tom King talks a little bit about James Gunn, and also he talks about the Mr. Miracle series that's coming up. And then, of course, we are going to talk about that Doomsday trailer that's featuring the X-Men. So lots of good stuff to talk about. So before we do that, let's get into our discussion topic. Look, and before I forget, of course, we got to do Polly has issues before we do the discussion topic. So let's make sure we do that. So Polly has issues. That's right. Polly has issues, but also she talks about comic books. And this week she's got a couple things that she wants to highlight. So Polly, take it away.
Literally a couple things. Couldn't be more right. I did read 2 fresh comics this week. It was Age of Revelation, the end of the arc, and X-Men 23. But let's start with the Revelation. As you know, the thing that's going on is that in the future, we have Scott Summers, or rather his mind, his consciousness, and Hank McCoy transported to their future selves. And the future selves live in this another terrible alternative future of the X-Men, which is Age of Revelation, where Doug Ramsey took over the whole world. He was fulfilling his role as the heir of Apocalypse, but he got a little carried away and decided to enslave everyone, and knowing that.
I mean, naturally, what else do you do with Apocalypse powers?
I mean, have to do something.
He wanted to become an influencer, but that didn't work out. So
well, he did.
I mean, in a way, he is an influencer.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, because I really love this event because it does present Doug as a terrifying villain, because his abilities especially amplified by Apocalypse, they are scary as fuck. Because he can take away somebody's ability to speak or to form any reasonable thoughts, and he can take away he can force people to do what he says, because he's convincing, and that's part of his ability. And that is pretty scary, because this is exactly how he convinced everyone to follow him. Mm-hmm. Apparently, not everyone wanted, and his idea was to first build a mutant paradise, make everyone a mutant, but then that went wrong, and he switched to his second option, which was to essentially absorb everyone and become a living planet. Great idea, great plan. So Age of Revelation, actually, and this is a spoiler, but it ends with the X-Men failing and Doug doing what he set out to do, and that's when Scott's mind goes back in time, goes back to the original team where Doug just showed up and like
And he takes him. He's like,
reintroduced.
no. He's like, no.
No, it's actually much more interesting than that, because I'm gonna spoil it again, because who cares? It's fun, it's interesting, and probably people already read that last week or something. When we get to the X-Men 23, which is a continuation of what had happened before the Age of Revelation event, Scott, the future Scott, wakes up in the current time Scott's body, and of course starts attacking Doug. I'm actually I was so happy and so relieved that somebody kicked Doug's ass before he tried to do all that. I know that it doesn't change anything. I know that it might not even help. But I wanted him to get some kind of punishment for what he allegedly was gonna do in the future. I did not enjoy it. I did not like what he did. Well, I did enjoy the story. I did not like him. And especially considering how what kind of kid he always was, like the quiet kid, nerd, linguistics nerd who didn't do any action stuff, didn't fight a lot. He pretty much was like the brain and the team. Got killed even once, but actually more than once. Anyway, I really enjoy this arc. I like that it is continuing in present day events, and I don't know how long it's gonna last, but like it does feel like old school events, and I absolutely adore it because it's just something I missed. That's it for this week.
Awesome. Well, that sounds like you should be doing recaps, so so I don't have to go read these, because that's a lot of comics. Like, it's so hard. It's gonna be so hard for me to catch back up with what's going on in the comics.
Just focus on whatever it is, like whatever you're interested in.
I need your discipline. I think that's the thing, is you have a lot more discipline when it comes to these things.
It's quite the contrary, because I don't have enough discipline to do other things. Because instead of doing other things that are seemingly more important, I would just go ahead and read comics.
Yeah,
that's how I read so much comics.
That's my thing, is like I don't preferentially sit down and read comics, because I got like so much other stuff to do. But either way, those are Polly's issues. You guys go check out those comics, and get down to the comment section or hit her up on social media and talk about them. Just you know the rules. Don't be saying good stuff about Reed. That's it. Just don't start that. You don't want it. So yeah, let's get into these news items. But before we do, again, I do have a discussion topic, and I'm gonna lean in here, y'all. I'm gonna focus in on myself, because I need to talk to you fans for sure. We just had a big discussion last week about fans and how they're ruining stuff, and I feel like I really, really need to lean in and let you guys know, y'all are making being a fan of shit not fun. Now, yes, this is a superhero podcast, media podcast. So, but I'm talking to you MCU fans too, and DC fans, and Snyderverse, and all of you. But this came out of the fact that over the past week and a half, there's been all this bullshit going around with the Stranger Things fandom.
Oh yeah,
and it's been going on for the better part of like a month, because maybe not a month, but 3 weeks now, because of all the Byler shippers and all that other stuff. But the truth is, fan entitlement ruins everything. That's my title for this discussion. Fan entitlement ruins everything. And this is because of that bullshit episode 9, Conformity Gate. Just delusion that I had to fucking endure this week, because people can't just dislike something and move on with their lives. I get it. this show is big to you. It's a big part of your childhood or your early 20s, whatever it is. You were into it. I get it. Trust me, I've seen this shit before with Harry Potter and Star Wars and fucking Star Trek, all sorts of things. I get it. But this idea that your headcanon is more important than what the actual creators want, or that you demand that they do things your way, or this, the way you wanted it to go, that you're entitled to get that. And that, so when you don't get it, suddenly you got to make up some fucking conspiracy that makes no sense if you have any kind of clue about how the business works. If you have the slightest understanding of the way Hollywood works or the business works, you would know that a secret episode 9 to fix the shit that you don't like isn't real. But you had like millions of people, and shout out to the guy that came up with the Conformity Gate thing. You got a ton of engagement. Like you got millions of people watching and everything like that. And obviously you're tapping into like the discontent of some people that just didn't like the way it ended. I get that. But you fools that are sitting up here lapping it up and be like, for sure on the 7th of January, we're going to get something. That, you know what that is? That is your entitlement speaking. And it's got to stop. Because a lot of you people, y'all are living in a time of plenty. As they say in Game of Thrones, you sweet summer child. You don't know what it's like to just be happy you're getting anything. Y'all get so much stuff now. Now you feel entitled to it. And you don't understand that you can just dislike some things and move on. Right? You can dislike the ending of Lost and move on. Don't spend the next fucking year making conspiracy theories and all this other stuff about how it's going to... No, it's just you didn't like it, move on. Same thing with the Snyder people. The shit's not coming back. You're not entitled to getting whatever it is you think that you want. The Snyderverse restored. It's not happening. You're not going to get what you want. Be happy with what you got and move on to something else. You don't even have to like the new DC. Just move on. You're not entitled to get the shit that you want. What we get is what people think we're going to like. And if we don't like it, oh well. There's tons of other things to do. But this sense of entitlement that fans have is fucking ruining things. Because it gets people to sit there and have arguments and shout you down and try to gaslight you into thinking that you didn't like the things that you liked, or you're an idiot or whatever like that because you like something that somebody else didn't like. It's wild. It's stupid. It's detrimental to fandom, and we need to stop it. Like, find something else. Anyway, I'm gonna step back and let Polly have her say about this. But I'm so serious. Fan entitlement is ridiculous. Like, MCU fans, I'm looking at you too. I'm looking at you too. Because Doomsday is coming out. And I don't want to hear y'all bitching about how the movie didn't play out the way your fan fiction in your head played out. And you're mad about it and you demand that they fix it. No. That's not how this works. Anyway.
I'm gonna start from the final argument that you brought up. Just today, I posted something about X-Men Dark Phoenix, and somebody showed up and screaming how it's a bad movie. I tried to be polite. They didn't like it. They tried to insist on the fact that it's a bad movie. I said adios. Nothing to talk about here. But. Seriously, there is a huge problem with people that build up these conspiracy theories, and I think that Snyderverse, of course, Snyder Cut is to blame for that. It's a huge reason why we have that, because they demanded it and they got it, and now everybody demands shit. Not saying that you have to be happy with whatever studios put out, but if you're not, just really literally, yes, just move on. not gonna get everything as you expect it to be. And I think I even wrote about that, like the characters that you like or love or enjoy, they're never gonna be the same as you want them to be. Like, they're never gonna be those same characters, exact same characters from the comics. And if somebody ends the way, like I keep talking about it, but I hated the Rise of Skywalker, how it ended. Well, I do talk about it a lot, but I don't like dedicate my whole life to it.
Yeah.
And I definitely do know that they're not releasing a secret ending or like an alternative ending, and I'm fine with that. Kind of accepted it. I don't see why some people have such a problem with just like really accepting that. Yeah, the writers have a certain idea, whether it's their initial idea, how they wanted it to end, or they chose this specific ending depending on like how the things progressed. Doesn't make it bad writing. For some reason, I saw a lot of complaints about bad writing, and like how
the fuck would
they
you
can't
know?
explain it.
Yeah.
That too, yes, but they can explain it. They can't give you a definition of bad writing or bad movie or bad show or something, because that's how do you even define that? But there's a huge problem with people just not being able to say, well, I didn't like, and not get into detail about, like, you can even explain why you didn't like it, but you don't need to call it bad or call it bad writing or like complain and complain and complain every day. It's just weird. It really is just really weird.
Yeah.
Why?
I think
that secret, and like, seriously, why would you even believe it? It's even stupider than like believing that, I don't know, vaccines are trying to kill you. It's just so ridiculous.
Well, the thing about it is, and look, the idea, you ever heard what's the song, Don't Dream It's Over by Crowded House?
Yeah.
The idea that it's over and you're never getting more, and you're just not satisfied with it. I mean, tough shit. That's one is tough shit.
Well,
but
write
two,
fan fiction.
Yeah, that's literally what fan fiction is for. If you don't like it,
read books or additional. I know there is like a lot of additional stuff, additional materials. Things like develop a D&D campaign. I don't know, be productive, just do something with it. When I watched the last episode of X-Men Evolution for the first time, I was upset that it ended too. I was upset that it ended and didn't like continue the story. What did I do? I went ahead, I searched for the comics, like I found comics, I read comics. Read
fan fiction. Look, if I get it.
Read fan fiction.
It's fine. You probably dodged
like it.
Yeah, you probably dodged a bullet. It's most fan fiction is trash. But what I'm getting, like this sense of entitlement, like you're owed something. You know what? You don't like it? Go write your own fucking ending. Like that. Maybe that's the other thing. I should call it fan laziness too, because from the very again, this is because there's a glut of content. There's so much, right? So when people attach to something like that, I guess they're not used to having to do extra work outside of it. Remember, this is the streaming era. There's tons of content, right? But you think about Star Trek fans. Star Trek fans, they had three seasons and then basically a decade of nothing but books. And then so they ended up writing their own fan fiction and shit like that. And some of it got to be real books. But their fandom grew out of the fact that there was nothing for about a decade until like the first movie in 77, 78? The Star Trek, the movie. They had nothing. Oh, that animated series, I guess, in the like late 60s, early 70s. But they had nothing. So they went to work. Star Wars fans, they went to work. Like, if you don't like the way shit went, write your own stuff. These people are lazy. The Snyderverse fans are lazy. You know why? Because where's all the elite fan fiction for the DCEU that fixes the problem, right? That fulfills Zack Snyder's vision or some shit like that. None. There's nowhere. The nothing. We never heard of it.
Zack Snyder isn't writing it.
Yeah, I mean, he's not doing that, but they're not even doing it. They say they want the Snyderverse restored so much. Pick up a fucking pencil. You know, get on a Word document and write what you want to see. I'm gonna say the same things to the Stranger Things fan. You want Conformity Gate? Write the fucking story. Write it. Go direct that, all of this online angsty bullshit that y'all are wasting your time on. Turn that to the page. And since you know so fucking much, you're so good at writing, you're so good, you know, whatever, make Conformity Gate a real thing with fan fiction. But stop all of this shit like they owe you something. The Duffer Brothers and Netflix don't owe you a damn thing. They've given you what they intend to give you. That's it. All of it. Otherwise, y'all are just in a fucking echo chamber sounding pathetic. And it's not. Like, I'm trying to save you from yourselves. I'm so serious.
You're not gonna listen.
I'm trying to save you from yourself. You are going to grow to hate Stranger Things because you're never going to get what you want. You're going to look back this and retroactively start to dislike it, and you're going to try to tear it down instead of just redirecting that energy.
Then they will release something from the same universe, and they're going to retroactively love it again and say that it was genius and brilliant, and the new thing sucks.
It's trash. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, y'all,
you're not going to save them from that.
Take that energy and redirect it into creativity. That's the best thing you could possibly do. Turn that sense of entitlement into creativity. Turn that, like, your negative. All right, you think you can do better? Do better. That's all. Just go do it. I'll be happy for you to redirect that into creativity. So, anyway, that was a bit longer than I meant for it to be, but whatever. Y'all need to hear it. So, just be better, y'all. Let's talk about the news. Oh, what Kang Dynasty would have looked like if we'd actually gotten it. Well, first of all, it would have been, Kang taking Janet Van Dyne and, like, slapping her up or something like that, because it's bad. It's a bad Jonathan Majors joke. I'm sorry, y'all. I've gone on the record. I hope Jonathan Majors moves on and moves back up. He's not lost forever. But Kang Dynasty, I was really looking forward to it. Also, the reason why is because I think Kang's a good character with potential, and they built him up in Loki season 1, and they fumbled him so bad, like so terribly bad, and I think that's just unfortunate. But that being said, there is some, I guess you'd say, there's some leaks. I don't know about what Kang Dynasty was going to be, and I don't know. It sounds kind of interesting to me. So here's what it was going to be. Well, maybe I'm the only one that thinks it interesting. So the idea was going to be that the TVA was going to gather powerful anchor beings, if you will, from across the multiverse to basically take on the Council of Kangs that we saw at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And what was really interesting to me is that they were going to have the 3 Spider-Men from, No Way Home. They were going to all join forces and lead a group of multiversal anchor beings and have them face off with them, and they were going to include Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider and Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. And ultimately, despite their efforts, they were going to fail and cause the multiverse to collapse, and that Kang would basically reconstitute it as Battle World in Secret Wars, which is not too unlike what actually happened in the comics. really.
It's very much unlike what's happened.
Well, what I mean is that in the sense, not I don't mean like the team. I'm talking about the multiversal incursions ultimately leading to Doom having to like you what who I forget who he used, was it Franklin Richards?
Molecule Man.
But yeah, to basically piece to or smash together the multiverse into just one battle world, right? So they were drawing from the comics, the Secret Wars comics and how that was coming together. I look, that could have been interesting. It also sounds to me like they were like, man, Spider-Man No Way Home was $1 billion movie. We should bring those guys back. And again, this was not even set in stone. They were just like, this could be the thing. They would have had to actually get Toby and Andrew Garfield back on a contract and all that other good stuff. But having Tom Holland literally be a leader of sorts of essentially a team of people would have been interesting, because Spider-Man's not traditionally a leader of teams. Like he's usually a part of a team if he's in the team, but he never leads it. So it would have been interesting to see him actually do that. It is weird that an Avengers movie though would have no Avengers except him. I'm just like, who else?
Wolverine's an Avenger.
Is he though? But is he?
Yeah.
Well, in the comics, yeah, but in the actual movies or whatever, not so much.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think it sounds interesting, but between the fact that Jonathan Majors was a problem, Kang was kind of fumbled by not just one. I think a few writers fumbled Kang. Loki tried its best to make, but Loki season 2, I think, shows shows all the signs of them realizing Kang was not it, and they rewrote the ending to downplay him. But also Jeff Loveness fucked him up in Quantumania, so this could have been interesting. I don't know. This is probably not the way though. What do you think?
I don't like it. I'm really glad we're not getting it, and I don't even think that it's a real thing. It sounds like fan fiction written by a really huge Spider-Man fan who like really loved that third movie that I didn't like, and went ahead with it and like, let's put Spider-Man and everyone in that, and then threw in, maybe after like watching Deadpool 3, he threw in like all the other characters.
They're like, how can we make $2 billion on this? That's what the real question.
Throw everyone in one pot. That does really sound like that. If that was a real idea, that probably was one of the early concepts that they were, throwing at the wall, because as you see, Kang doesn't really play a huge role here either, as far as we see. Also doesn't really make sense. So it should have been Doom always. I'm glad that they kind of pivoted toward Doom, even if it's not the Victor Von Doom that we deserve to see. Still, doesn't sound like a good idea to me, because again, like as you said correctly, in my opinion, the movie doesn't involve any actual Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
The movie does ignore half of the MCU cast, or like most of the majority of the MCU cast. For some reason, there are like 2 senile Spider-Man around. And I don't know, it might be just my opinion, but like, in my opinion, they didn't have the great chemistry in the Spider-Man movie. So putting them all in another movie together, just weird. They kind of felt very cringy to me. Like they were trying to relate to each other and like, trying to build this connection out of nowhere because they just didn't have it. It's not even like when 2 strangers met up and they were like different strangers with the same face or something, but you still had that connection. They still felt like the same person, but like right. 3 Peter Parkers, they just felt random.
I think you're in the minority on that about Spider-Man.
I know. Still, I think that like in time people will see the light. I can wait. All the time.
I think this was not the way. Even though I will say, if they ever get around to just being like, let's just make some animated features, because I'm firmly believe that if they wanted to spend the money, they could make animated features just like the way DC does, and
Events.
and then just explore these little multiversal events. This could be a neat little like 90-minute, maybe not even 90, maybe 70, 75, 80-minute animated feature with voice, some decent voice acting and some cool stuff going on, just like doing some multiversal shit with Kang. Bring Kang back, Kang was really cool in Avengers Earth Mightiest Heroes, so why not? But yeah, this was not the way. So, but we know we're getting the actual Doomsday, and that's coming up all the way at the end of the year. Dang it! But we'll talk about Doomsday more as the year progresses. So, let's talk about something that this keeps going on. This is like, Lamb Chop, the story that will not end. Paramount once again has asked Netflix to go to the prom with them, and Netflix is, not Netflix. They've asked why did I say Netflix?
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner. I should have said Warner. It says Netflix on here. I don't know why I put Netflix on there. It's Warner Brothers. Paramount has asked Warner Brothers out to the prom yet again, and they're like, "Look, I'm going with Netflix. Why? Just leave me alone." But then, here's the part I don't like. The part I don't like is Warner Brothers was like, "Look, I'll go with you, but only if you do X, Y, Z." And Netflix is just like, "What are you doing?" They're basically, the board of Warner Brothers is like, "Well, that's a lot of money, but you need more. We need more than that. We're gonna need more than what you're," because I think they're saying something like $30 a share, which is a lot of money. Why can't I wish this would just end. And also the other thing I saw is that Paramount, they sent a letter to the our government, the American government, the House Judiciary Subcommittee on Antitrust Affairs, or whatever the fuck it's called. They're like, "Look, this is clearly unlawful you should just like reject it summarily." So they're trying everything they can to get Warner Brothers to go to the prom with them. They're asking their dad they're trying to tell the principal to like, that you can't let them go to the prom together. They got to go with me. Next thing you know, they're just gonna be sending out flyers saying Paramount Warner Brothers has to go with me. Otherwise, it's not fair. It's. I just wish the oligarchs. I wish they would just fucking
Die.
Well, that part too, but like, if just sort it out already.
Sleep.
No, I mean guillotine, but whatever. I wish they would just like get it together. Like Paramount, I'm gonna say this, they're never giving up on this. They're gonna be that person at the wedding being like, "Stop, you gotta stop this, you must stop this wedding." And then they'll be at the wedding reception like, "No, it's never gonna happen. It's wrong. This is wrong. We can't." Then at the birth of the third child, they're gonna be like, "I still got a chance for real though." I'm like, they're just never gonna get. They're never giving this up. We should, yeah. They're like Rick Astley. They're the meme. Like, never gonna give you up.
Like Namor. They're like, "Warner Brothers, go out with me." "No, I'm married."
Yeah, what's that got? It's like,
like,
what's that got to do with
then
me?
I'm gonna kill everyone you love.
I sincerely believe that the Ellisons would burn everything to the ground to get Warner Brothers. I don't even want to say it's going out sad. I'm just like, God, rich people really have to learn how to just take a no for an answer. Like, you don't need to roofie people that just say no. Just like move on. Like, I feel like if this were like a woman at a bar, she'd have to cover up her drink if Paramount comes around, because like, he's definitely gonna do some foolishness to try to, get her home. It's crazy.
Oh, that's the creepiness level. That is just it's really hard to explain. But you know what? I've noticed while I was listening to you right now, I've noticed there is a huge a parallel between those entitled fans and these entitled oligarchs, and they
You could
really
have said
do deserve
assholes
it.
too. That
Well, yeah, I was looking for a more, you know. No, yeah, I could have said assholes.
Yeah, I mean,
True that.
but
There is there is a problem with people feeling entitled to something, and there is a problem with people not taking no for an answer. I don't know. It's just
yeah,
God.
I hate it.
Could we be done with this story already?
Yeah,
I mean, not we, but like, could it end? Like, we need some kind of a resolution, because at this point, it just feels like one of those soap operas. It's
yeah.
never gonna end.
Well,
It's gonna be like 15 seasons and like same thing. Grey's Anatomy. It's gonna be Grey's Anatomy.
They are. So right now, I think the government is looking at the hostile bid. So like they're basically launching a hostile takeover bid. So they have to look at it, because just because someone buys all the damn shares doesn't mean that the government's going to let that happen. So
that government. I mean, American government.
They're going to do their absolute best to like ignore the law to make it happen. But like, there's still a process that they got to go through. So we'll
not
see.
Really.
Well, we'll see.
I mean, they're gonna rewrite the law. They're gonna ban the law. They're gonna do everything to avoid like doing this legally.
Even if that's true, this is an international situation, and so the EU can be like, nah, fuck that.
But you did hear what we heard like over the last few days about international rules and laws.
Well, I know, I get that. It's just that these companies, and like, you got to look at it this way. If this was just two American companies that didn't really have a big footprint out of the United States, this would just be an internal affair. But that's not true. You can't have a like, they're talking about, if I'm not mistaken, $80 billion. This is like $80+ billion, potentially more depending on how it plays out. There is no American company that has that much money, that much valuation, that does not have a big international footprint. That's just true. So the EU can make it very hard for big companies. This is why Google and Apple, they have to pay attention to what the EU says and act accordingly. Because if they don't, they get hit with.
If they want to work in the EU.
Yeah, they get hit with, and Apple and Google have to work in the EU. These are companies that cannot function without Europe. They just can't. If you take the European market out of play, their valuation plummets, and their ability to do business is significantly, curtailed. So this is true of Hollywood studios too. They can't ignore the EU. They have to. They have to basically make sure that they're legally correct with America and with the EU, and then with China and so forth. So this idea that they can just do whatever they want just because the American regulators say so, that doesn't mean that the EU will. And so they can be a company in America, but once they get outside of America, they're gonna have to basically put up like, they gotta have to stay separate in Europe, and there ain't no point to doing that. You're just a bunch of extra overhead to make it possible to do business there. You may as well just stay separate all the way around. So either way, who knows how this is going to play out. I suspect Paramount's going to keep going until they get what they want, but we'll see. And we'll talk about it then as we circle the drain. So Sebastian Stan has been he's in talks to be in the Batman Part 2, potentially as Two-Face, which is, look, I'm down with that. Why not? We're not getting this for like 2 more years, it feels like. Actually, I think it's supposed to come out next year. They're supposed to start filming this year. It's supposed to come out next year. I sure hope they do get to it. But look, I like Sebastian Stan. He's good. Well, everyone loves him as Bucky. He's still technically in the MCU. Could he be a good Two-Face? Why not? Right? Harvey
I mean,
Dent.
he's a good actor.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
He has a face.
Yeah. He's age appropriate because, he's not like what's he like? Is he 40 something now? So probably is. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, but he looks younger.
Yeah,
so.
but he was great in Thunderbolts. Look, I have nothing to say about this except this is awesome, and I love this. I love the idea that he'll be Harvey Dent, even if he's not Harvey Dent. If he's just in that and then the Batman Part 2, dope. I'm ready for it. I feel like you were probably gonna agree.
He's gonna be Damian Wayne.
He'll be Hush. He's gonna be Hush. If he could be Ra's al Ghul. Which
Nah.
let's continue to whitewash that particular character.
Family. He's gonna be Talia.
He's gonna be Dick Grayson.
Boy Wonder.
Let's think of what's another character that he could be that would absolutely. He could be. I mean, look, there's so many characters. I want him to
the
be
Joker.
I want
He
him.
hasn't been in the movies for a while.
He could be Mr. Big. He's just a little. He's holding the puppet.
He could be another Alfred. Alfred's cousin.
Yeah. Alfred's other secret.
One lost cousin.
Yeah,
another secret child.
It's probably gonna be his Two-Face, but why? I mean,
Well, everybody keeps saying that he's gonna be Two-Face. Personally, I would probably like them to take on another story. Like we've seen Two-Face already in 2 movies, I think.
Victor Zsasz.
It'd be nice to how about I mean, he's a good actor, but I mean, I don't know.
I would.
Quite an insane role.
We've already had like a pseudo serial killer with Riddler, but I think Victor Zsasz would be good. I mean, Hugo Strange is a good call. Like,
could be talent.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he could. Hell,
I'm still holding out hope that somebody would make a great Court of Owls movie.
Yeah, and I have not. I still need to read Court of Owls. I'm just like one day.
You know what? I know a lot of people hate it, but I absolutely love it. One of my favorite Batman stories. Secret societies, creepy conspiracies. Everything's going like at the same time. Very creepy talents, creepy, like everything. It's great. And if you wanna relieve the beauty that is this society, then play Gotham Knights.
Oh, I need to play that too. I never actually. Oh no, Gotham Knights. No, I have not played Gotham Knights. I need to get it when it's on sale one of these days.
It's always on sale.
Oh, well, I mean on sale, like, I'm cheap. Really, really on sale. Super on sale. So, well, this is a cool news. I like it. I can't wait for them to confirm who he's going to be. And y'all start filming this damn thing. This is wild. It's been a while since the first one came out. We'll talk about it more when this is confirmed. Let's talk about some more DC stuff. This is Tom King, everybody's favorite or least favorite writer for DC. I only have read one thing by him, and that's Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Excellent book. You've read it. You also can confirm.
Yeah, also I have read Vision, which is also an excellent book.
Oh yeah, he wrote Vision? Oh, you're talking about the one where he has like the android family and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, that was cool.
I really love that.
That was really cool. Well, Tom King, and again, he's not everyone's favorite. I think there are some people who really don't like him. They really don't like his work. That's fine. Everything ain't for everybody, but for better or for worse, y'all are just gonna have to deal with it. He's one of the story architects of the new DCU. He just is. James Gunn loves him. He's part of the brain trust over there. He's helping to move things. You can tell he's helping to move things along. You can tell James loves him because Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is largely based on that comic book.
Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Well, Supergirl, the movie is based on the Woman of Tomorrow book. Anna Nogueira is adapting the book into the screenplay. So he's got a very big influence on what we're going to be seeing from DC in the future. That being said, he was talking, I think it's on Happy, Sad, Confused, and he said some things that I thought were interesting when it comes to like James Gunn and kind of his outlook, what he's trying to do, what he's trying to accomplish with the DCU and its output. And I think for you, and I don't read comics as much, but you specifically and other people that do read comics a lot, I think this should make you very happy. And it's also been very apparent. Like we've been laser focused on this since the first DC stuff has come out under his leadership, and that is, so I'm gonna read the quote. He says, James Gunn loves comics. He wants to sell a lot of movie tickets, but he also wants to sell a lot of comics. That is not something every person who's made a superhero movie has ever cared about. James honestly cares about that and has been supportive of this effort. And so has Peter Safran, the other head of DC Studios, who's sort of the unsung hero. So first of all, shout out to Peter Safran. He don't get nearly enough credit for what's going on with DC Studios. He's the guy that keeps the shit running.
He's like the Jack Kirby.
Yeah, well, he's the I'll give that. That's fair. That's fair. But he's the and James Gunn has made no bones about it. He can't do that stuff. That's not his forte. The day-to-day operations, keeping the engine running, keeping schedules, keeping us on task.
But they both do what they're best at.
He's not that guy. He's the ideas guy. He's got in his mind where the world is going, what the story should be, what's the good stories, are the scripts on point. And not that Peter Safran can't do that. He's a producer, obviously he can, but he's not as hands-on like that as James Gunn. So before we talk about the James Gunn video, I do again want to give shout out and praise to Peter Safran, who I think he's kept them going on schedule. They, everything is running, I think, very tightly over there, and Safran clearly is making it happen. So I just want to make sure that we give him his flowers. That said, James Gunn he's been clearly on that comic stuff. He wants us to read, right? He wants us from the get. And I don't mean Creature Commandos, they said, read this comic. No, from the moment they announced their slate, they said, here are the comics that we are looking at to get us to our movies and our TV shows. And they've been putting people on comics from the jump. More to the point, every project we've seen so far that come out from DC Studios has, they've been go read the comics. Here's a comic that, there's if it's not a tie-in comic, the comic is inspired. They keep pointing us back, every single one of them. So I'm hell yeah, obviously James Gunn wants us to read comics. He said, I love these comics, are dope. You should be reading them too. Don't just stop with what we're doing. Go read fucking comics, man. Go get on DC Universe Infinite. Do your thing. And I love it. Marvel, they need to take so many notes from him, because he's right. Tom King's right. Some of these directors outright are kind of dismissive of comics. They, they're
the X-Men come to mind, of course.
Oh yeah,
Brian Singer. It was back. It was back at the time when comic books weren't cool. Most people didn't want to read them, and the studios didn't want to push people into reading comics, and they were trying to distance themselves from the origins of these characters. Hence, things like the black leather costumes, heavily changed stories, which is not necessarily something that Marvel doesn't do, because Marvel also changes characters, their origins, and the stories themselves, adapts them. but it doesn't shy away from the comics this way. Still, it does kind of carry over this tradition of not forcing people into reading the comics. Like, you don't know anything about that, fine. Which is also good, but it's nice to see some comic book love and some recommendations, because it's my understanding that DC is a little bit harder to get into than Marvel, because in Marvel you can immediately like find jumping points. You can find them on Marvel Unlimited. You can just start reading some arc or something. In DC, you get really discouraged when you see like Action Comics number 1000 and something.
Yeah.
You're not gonna read that. It's like trying to watch an anime and seeing that like there's like 156 seasons.
One Piece.
Probably,
Yes.
I don't know. Never watched it. You know why?
One Piece
Too
has
many damn seasons.
One Piece has 1,000 episodes. It's literally
Yeah.
It's been running
I don't
for
have
20
time for
years. It's been
I
running
don't
for
have
20
time.
years.
I don't have extra 20 years to put into this. And there is the same problem with DC. It has a lot of great stories, has a lot of standalone stories, and what I love is that they do recommend the standalone stories, like Superman, All-Star Superman, which is like really easy to read. It's a really quick read. Supergirl, again, really quick read. Takes you like a few days if you don't binge it, if you split it into smaller parts. It takes you a few days to read it, and then boom, you know what the character is, you know where they draw the inspiration, and you can see the things, and you are ready to like discuss it. Discuss it probably not exactly on the same level as people who read like through the whole history of the character, but you know enough to understand the character, to understand what they're going for, and that's amazing. That's great, and that's really kind of like a next level of accessibility to people, for viewers. Something that Marvel should definitely do, but then again, how are they going to do this? Because they already have this universe built, and it was developing kind of separately from the comics.
Right.
So they didn't have access to every character. They didn't have access to many stories. So yeah, we have like Hawkeye, who's nothing like he was in the comics. We have different stories developing differently, like again, Ultron developed by Tony Stark and Bruce Banner instead of Ant-Man. Things like Civil War went very differently, and Secret Wars, that's going to be different, obviously. Yeah. So yeah, it's not that they can't take some book and recommend it to you. It's just that it's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's not going to have the same feel, the same vibe, because like Civil War has a very different vibe from the movie Civil War.
Yeah. Well, I think you make a very good point, actually, that they are more likely to, just not straight adaptation, but DC Studios is far more interested in taking existing stories that work and then just like, you know, making them fit into the DCU. Mm-hmm. So like, and oddly enough, Peacemaker is really not like his comics counterpart. But they've sort of retroactively sort of given the James Gunn version to the DC comics universe. But, you know, that bit with Salvation Run is very much, they said, it's the comic is pretty much where they're trying to get that from the New 52. So I think they're going to kind of tread the line of not straight adaptation, but like, let's really get the core of this story and get it into the film medium. Whereas
that's what they did with Superman too.
Yeah. And it's not a straight adaptation of anything, but it distills a lot of like the essence of several versions of Superman or Superman runs. Whereas Marvel is kind of just been like, you know, we'll take what we want, but it's, you know, so they can't necessarily point you back to the comics. And I still think that
and they built upon what they already have, because they have like 10 or I think 15 years of different stories that they've been telling without having access to the full roster.
Yeah.
So they're building upon that, and that's also understandable.
So I think when they do the ultimate reboot next year, because look, we can agree they're probably going to do that. They ought to take a page out of James Gunn's book and remember, this can be a synergy. We can, get people hyped about the characters and the storylines and point them back to the comics and be like, look, you can, are you impatient? You can go read up on it and then you see how we're going to deal with this. But if you did that with like Age of Ultron, people would be like, what the fuck is this? So, but I don't want to get too far into a Marvel thing. The point
Secret
is,
Wars.
yeah, the point I want to make is, I think he's 1,000% on point. Yeah, James Gunn does want. They do want y'all to go read comics. They want everyone to be conversant in heroes and the genre, and to find characters you like that you've never seen before and get excited to hear that they're going to show up on screen. Makes sense to me. I mean, I love that. Hell, this got me wanting to read comics. Why would I do that? But
Right.
anyway, James Gunn continuing to be the GOAT. He also went on to talk about Mr. Miracle. Some of the details about the animated show that he is. He wrote the comic that it's based on, and he's going to be a producer on it. So here's the things he said about it. He was the writer on every episode. So that's a James Gunn thing, by the way. Remember, he wrote all the episodes of Peacemaker season 1 and 2. So he's written every episode, and he's the executive producer. And he says that casting has begun, and there's 1,000 roles to cast. Obviously being facetious, but, or hyperbolic, rather. But yeah, I think that means they're going to try to cast all the new gods. And remember, for the DCU, live action and voice acting are the same thing in general. I mean, Alan Tudyk is obviously, he does multiple things, but people, if they are cast as the animated thing, they're going to be that in live action. So Big Barda is, I think everyone's looking forward to her, but also all of the people from Apocalypse, all of the new gods. It's going to be, I think it's going to be quite interesting. So hopefully we'll get some more information about that in the future. He also says that Mitch Gerard is producer on the Mr. Miracle series. I think that's a big and important bit of news, because he was the artist on the comic book. Which means my guy is getting paid as a part of the production. Probably, I'm sure he's doing some work on it art-wise or whatever, or consulting. But because he was the artist, they give him production credits, which means he's going to get paid off of an actual thing that was developed from his work. That's cool. And they said they're trying to make the animation as good as the art in the series and push the limits of the animation. I love everything I'm hearing. But the thing that really, really gets me is that the artist getting compensated. It's about DC's actually really good about this, but I love to hear that the artists the writers, they do a lot of work. I agree. But the artist brings it to fruition, and they use their talents and their ideas to make, turn these characters into something more than just words on a page. So I love to see that an artist is getting their due while they're, not after they're dead, not after having sued somebody, but to actually get their due in real time. It's cool. Anyway, what do you think about these details? Did you read this? I didn't read it, but
I did not read that. I don't know a lot about these characters. Am I looking forward to this? No, but I'm sure I will love it when it comes out.
Yeah.
Kind of like Creature Commandos, because I wasn't excited for them. I didn't watch them right away. When I did, I loved it.
Yeah, that seems to be. I have to say that seems to be a theme with you and the DC TV shows. Like you're just like,
Uh,
eh,
some of them, like I read some DC comics. I haven't read a lot of them. I just, it's hard to keep up with everything.
yeah, no, for
Uh,
sure.
yeah, it's pretty much impossible to keep up with everything actually. And considering that for years I've been pushing away DC in general because I just knew that I couldn't afford another hobby like that. And only recently I started like reading more and more of it. And I hope I have the time, like enough time to read everything that I want because I have like a reading list, a whole DC reading list that is very long and it is full of great recommendations that I can't wait to read. But then again, there are not every characters are essentially what I'm interested in. So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I will watch it, and James Gunn's magic will work on me, and I will be like, "Damn it, I need to read this."
I'm gonna say probably so. Um, this, I mean, like I said, this all sounds good. I don't think we're getting this till next year. Maybe next year sounds right. Maybe even the year after that, but I think it's next year. So we'll look forward to that. Again, shout out to DC for respecting the artists, paying them. That's the best way you can respect somebody is pay them right. So good on them. Our last bit of news. This is the big one for the week. To me, my X-Men Doomsday trailer, which
Hell yeah!
the image is Cyclops, blowing his eyes out, like he did in the
As
trailer.
one does, on a Sunday.
With the Sentinel, I'm assuming in the background, just going crazy. This is
I think there was like 2 Sentinels.
it probably when someone said when Scott takes his visor off, it's dire. True that. Look,
Well, for him,
yeah.
because he can see shit.
I mean, Bolivar Trask is probably
Everyone else is just
yeah.
walking around like, Scott, are you okay? He's throwing a fit again. He's probably screaming, Jean!
Or Emma.
Yeah, I don't.
Could be Emma. What's
Emma can
the
take
other?
care of herself.
It could be Madeline.
No, it can't.
He never screams
Absolutely
Madeline.
can.
Um,
Nah,
look,
he don't even care about her. Or his child.
I mean,
Nice guy, this Scott.
you know what? We have a Scott Summers truthers too. Look, I've made no bones about it. The first two of these teasers, the first one was what it was. It could have been an email. The second one was a social media post. The second one was like it's one of those affirmations posts. Like just manifesting gratefulness and shit like that. Something like that. It's one of those Instagram influencer posts. This was a fucking teaser. It's about damn time. If I had seen this in the theater, I'd have been geeked. This was beautiful. Obviously the bit with Scott, awesome. But just seeing, what I can only call just like life partners. The life partners living in the ruins of the mansion.
Magneto's gonna move in.
Well, I mean, you have to. Like, they've been on again, off again for so long. I'm glad that they finally committed to each other. And in their old age, it's nice. It makes me feel good about humanity. Or
one of those bickering old couples, but they bicker and kind of ends up as mutant war.
Yeah. I really love this teaser. I love the little voiceovers. And I don't even want to say it gave me a nostalgia hit. It just made me be like, what are they gonna do with these people? What are they really doing here? And also
probably kill them off mostly.
Yeah, is this the age of actually, what is it? the future, the bad future where the X-Men
There's a
all.
future past.
Yeah, it's probably that. I feel like that's
Well, it's
probably.
actually, it's every future. It's
Yeah.
every alternative. Age of Apocalypse, Days of Future Past, Age of Revelation, uh, you name it.
No, there's no good
Like,
future
I
for
don't
the
know,
X-Men.
good days of, what's his face, Nimrod and
Yeah,
stuff. It's
it's
always the same thing.
I would love, and they'll never make this because the X-Men comics don't sell when things are great. I would love for there to be a future where the X-Men just like get to just be normal. They just get to live. Everything's fine. There's no, there's nothing dire. Like the mutants aren't slaves or overlords or dying of some weird ass disease, or you know what I'm saying? Can there ever be a fucking future where mutants just go on to just continue to just like live like normally? Like the future isn't
No.
the world's not scoured by like some apocalyptic event or some shit like that. It's just like a Tuesday, just a Tuesday. No, it's
No, they can have that.
They'll never do it. You're right.
No.
I think the writers are just like, what's the worst thing that could happen? Like, let's make that. Like, but like we've already seen like 20 worst things that could happen. And I'm like, yeah, but surely there's another one.
But there is something worse.
Yeah.
There's something even worse. We gotta find that.
Yeah.
Well,
what do you think about this trailer though?
Absolutely loved it. Well, I can say that it gave me a nostalgia hit. I don't know, I was so excited to see it, and I knew that it was coming, and I was avoiding seeing like anything about it. Avoiding watching it in terrible quality. Did everything I could. I still saw some images and stuff like that, but then when I saw it, the whole thing, and I heard it, it was so epic and right, and it's finally happening. It's finally the X-Men and the MCU, not the rebooted X-Men that we are gonna see, but it's kind of like a nice way to connect what we had with what we're about to have, and hopefully we're about to have something better. But still, it's nice to recognize that thing and that whole universe. It looks great. It is really, really a true teaser, something that gets you excited, something that gets you very excited. And this one I do really wish I could see in the theater, because I just can't imagine the feeling, especially if you don't expect it to be what it is. That would have been awesome. That would have been fantastic.
Yeah, wow. Four.
Could have been handled better, but I was excited still. Either way, I don't care. Just give me the X-Men, give me more X-Men, and keep giving me X-Men.
Yeah, I think I just wish they had treated the other ones like that. Like let's have some actual fucking footage, like of anything, instead of whatever that was that they gave us with Steve.
Well, that was a bit different because we haven't seen these characters in this universe yet. We don't know where they are. We don't know what's going on with them. It's really different because and we haven't seen these people for like when was
it's been let's see, the last stand was 03, is that right? X-Men the last stand was 03.
Well, we've seen some of them in Days of Future Past, and that was like in 10th and some.
It's
like
been
that.
It's been
at
a
least
while.
10 years. At least 10 years we haven't seen them. So that's very different. That's not like Thor, whom you've seen just recently, or Captain America, who again you saw just in the end game. This was meant to be different. This was supposed to look different and feel different, and it was. It achieved all the things.
Yeah, I think it raised a lot of questions about what's going on. But if you're a comic book reader, you can probably guess at what's going on. But more importantly,
terrible future for me.
Yeah. More importantly, how the hell does this play into Doomsday? What does it have to do? Wow, what the hell does this got to do with Doctor Doom? Like, Doctor Doom has not traditionally been an anti-mutant crusader. He's certainly sometimes been antagonistic to some mutants, But I think in general, against all mutants, no, it's not really his thing. So what on earth does this have to do with the X-Men? And I'm intrigued and I want to find out. So all the way around, you guys have Marvel, you've redeemed yourself. Just make sure that this next trailer is like on point like this, and I'll be good. That's all. Don't make it an email. Don't make it a social media post. Make it an actual trailer, and we'll be good. So either way, I enjoyed it. Polly enjoyed it. Did you guys enjoy it? So that being said, that's all of our news for the week. We did it. Polly, we did it. We got to the end of it. Even though it's a slow news week, we still had some fun stuff to talk about. But, maybe we missed something. I highly doubt it, but it's possible. But if we did, or you just wanted to, leave your thoughts, give us some praise, troll us, whatever the case may be, you know what to do. Get down there to the comment section and leave your thoughts there. And, of course, you can always hit us up. supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, blurred_force1 on Instagram, and threads super_not_funny_show on TikTok. And while you're doing that, do us a favor, get down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. All the good stuff helps to grow the channel, helps more people to see this podcast and all of the other content we make on the channel. And of course, couldn't do this by myself. I needed Polly to come in and, talk about comics and, do some read truther, or I guess in this case, some Daredevil truth. No, not Daredevil. Scott Summers truth. That's the one. The Daredevil. He's always confessing his sins, but
can't even tell the truth about this man.
So where can they reach you? Shit. Where can they reach you on social media?
core_mixed on Threads, on Instagram, and on Tumblr.
Yeah, and definitely go check that out if you want to see some comic book reviews, especially Moon Knight. But apparently Scott Summers' truth is coming, so we'll see.
What secrets is Scott Summers hiding?
We're gonna find out.
Yeah, inquiring minds want to know. Jean is one of those inquiring minds. You would think
she does know, though.
You would think she would know all of his shit, but I think, doesn't he have like good mental blocks?
You know what? He does have in his head. He does have this kind of either room or a box. And I remember one of the comics where Emma was in his head, and she was like, "What's going on there?" And he's like,
"Yeah,
I can tell you."
I feel like. Didn't he not?
That's where he kept Jean.
Yeah, either he kept. Well, if I'm not mistaken, now you can correct me. Either he had built up mental defenses against psychics like Jean and Emma, because he trained himself up so that he could basically resist them.
That's why he keeps dating them.
Or and I could be wrong about this. Or Jean helped him set up mental defenses in his mind so that they could.
I think it's both, because they all had training to set up defenses, even from Charles. But Jean also, yes, did help him.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Super used. She doesn't have a back door in either. That's wild. Either way, well, that's a talk for another day. Well, you guys, again, thank you for joining us. It's been episode 214 of the Supercast. Come back next week. We got more to talk about. Hopefully it'll be that final Doomsday trailer, and it's good. That'd be great. Also, check out the channel if you want to see some Black Panther comic recaps. I got that going on. Also on the TikTok, if you lean that way, that's cool too. I'm trying to do more over there. And just in general, just come and nerd out with us on Threads, on the disc. We hang out on the Earth's Mightiest Nerds Discord. So if you check out Muscle in the Multiverse, he has the link there. We do hang out there and talk. So just in general, if you want to come nerd out, it's cool. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Come back next week. Until then, I've been Mo, your comic extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by my good friend Polly. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.